because I met somebody who wanted to set up an education project for children of the untouchable caste, which is sort of lower than the lowest caste within the Hindu tradition or the Indian cultural system. And there I had two very, very good friends. One was a Christian who knew the Bible inside out, upside down, could quote anything you cared to ask from it. And the other one had studied the Bhagavad Gita, which is the holy book of the Hindus, and the Quran, which is obviously of the Muslims. And we used to have the most fantastic conversations as we would talk about the different stories and the different traditions and the actual essence of the different stories and how similar that they were. And I thought, oh my goodness, I always thought of religion as being very, very different. I didn't realize the historical context. I didn't realize the tradition that these stories came from. I didn't realize that there was so much overlapping with the essence of it. Well, we have a problem in, obviously, the Middle East. And some people put it down to religion. And that's fine, because people like to sometimes categorize themselves. I'm splitting away from my human family because I'm an X, and I'm splitting away from my human family and I'm a Y, and because I'm a Y I can't talk to you and I want to fight with you. Well, that's some people, but how many people in this room know Muslims? Okay? And are Muslims really evil people that like to sponsor terrorism from your personal experience with them?
No.
Pardon? No. No? Okay, general consensus on no there. Okay, how many of you know Jewish people? Okay. And do the Jewish people, do they hate Muslims? Well, let me tell you, I really think that when you come down to it, when you've got a Muslim person and a Jewish person standing next to each other, there isn't a bond of hatred there. There's a bond of understanding that they're from the same Abrahamic tradition and that there's a common book that they go back to. There's different ways that they express the different religions, absolutely. But the path to peace really does go through Jerusalem. And I would suggest that the conflicts that we see are far beyond religious difference. They're political. Very, very political. Now, when you see in Jerusalem, when you see in Israel and Palestine, your brothers and sisters killing each other, which side do you take? Neither. Because your brothers and your sisters are your brothers and your sisters. It's up to us really to bring them together. But what we've seen the United States do is play a role which says, well, we condemn this side against this side, and we condemn that side against the other side, and we're going to use this and we're going to do that, and we're not going to support the dignity of one side and we're going to do this. And that's really dichotomous thinking. That's politics that plays into actually fragmenting societies. It doesn't build relationships with them. So we need to address the existential threat that the Israeli community feel, and rightly so. But you also have to address the human dignity of the Palestinians as well. This is about physicality. This is about access to water, education, self-determination, jobs. The Palestinian, West Bank, Gaza, all of those different places, there isn't the dignity there. There's high walls, there's militarization, there's inhumane security checkpoints, there's ever so much violence. Every single day I receive emails about how many more people have been killed. We need to see about bringing our brothers and sisters together. We need to look beyond religious difference. We need to celebrate religious difference. Dennis and I have spent a lot of time in Israel and Palestine and Syria and Lebanon. And the thing that really struck us is, when we think of Syria, I hadn't been there until a year ago, and I've been twice since then. I hadn't been there, and I thought, Muslim country, okay, a little bit different, okay. Maybe a bit of a security risk, ooh, all right, but I'll go anyway. I'll go with an open heart. And when I went there, I want to tell you that I went to this, I was just taken by someone to this convent. And it was a convent which is one of the oldest shrines to the Virgin Mary. And it dates back just 1,000 or 1,500 years. It's just amazing. And the Emperor Justinian had it built. So if anyone knows their history, they'll know how many years ago it was. But it was a long time ago. Anyway, I went up there. It's obviously a Christian community, and there was Muslim ladies up there, fully covered in their beautiful outfits, worshipping as well, next to the Christian women who had no coverings. And I thought, this isn't what we hear about. We don't hear about how the faiths come together and how people worship together and understand each other. We always only hear about the stories when people have tremendous difference. And so what I really like to do when I'm working is see what it is that we want to create. And we want a world where we've got communities who work together, live together, and are happy together. And we've got a lot of that around the world. We've got to start emphasizing where that happens and really seeing where the true realities are. Because there are places, communities between Israel and Palestine, in these little pockets, where you've got mixed communities who live together without security, whose children go to the same schools, who they visit the same hospitals and doctors, and there's no security risk. And we have to, instead of looking at the problems of why people are fighting each other, we need to concentrate on looking at the questions, well, how is it that these people live together? What are these conditions? And how can we mainstream these positions and these conditions so that everybody can live like this? Because religious difference is something to be celebrated. We said within the education system about children learning about their environment and the communities that they're living in and all of that. And I studied religion because I wanted to understand the rest of my human family, and I wanted to be able to know about it. And I'm of the faith and the understanding that there is a spiritual truth to all different teachings, and some that we can just say, that doesn't really resonate true with me, so I won't accept it. But you can go along those lines, that's fine. We have to learn to listen to each other, and that really is how we build a culture of peace. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.